Hello. New things. Welcome to yet another building stream. We've made it a hat trick. 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row? I'm not Jonathan Ross. 3 weeks in a row, I'm here. Can I maintain this level of consistency for the rest of my life? Life? Maybe not life. For the rest of... It's the right word I'm thinking of. Not eternity. For a long time, anyways. I've actually made it this many weeks in a row. I've done well. Why is it saying on YouTube my broadcast is complete? That doesn't make sense. YouTube, are you still up? No, you're still up. Take my broadcast down. It's lying to me. Want to double check the title was right on YouTube. I had to edit it. I'm gonna turn these lights on actually. No, it's saying I'm live. That's good. Oh no. Oh no, okay, they're up. Don't know how much battery life they've got. Want that to be a white colour, don't we? There we go. Cool. I don't know how much battery life those have got left on them, but hopefully they can make it through the stream. If not, I guess it doesn't matter too much anyway. Today's project. Things are going to get a bit samey, I'm afraid, for the time being. Again, I guess I will reveal it as we're going along. Next week will be, touch wood, a little bit more different. We'll have, depending on what I have in stock. I need to rebuild my office PC, so that's something I'm going to look to do in the future. Drink some of my cheap beverage. Did that just flash off? Saw it flash. Just want to make sure screen size is good enough for me to see. It's fine. I reckon I can make it bigger, he said. Want to be able to, I'd like to be able to see it full screen, I don't know if that's possible. I just have to live with that. I can see it clearly now. I got a fancy, it's not a Stream Deck, it's a knockoff of AliExpress. But does the job. Got to spin this a little bit. I've just realised the orientation's a bit weird. There we go. Probably about as good as I can do. Do I maybe move that over a bit? It's going to look weird from face on. If I do that, I think that should be fine. Now I don't have to look at my computer screen to flick through the different options. How good is that? Very exciting. realise I'm actually missing one of the options here. I don't think I'm going to use it. Subdream Seeker, Destello, whatever you want to call me. What's up, my friend? This isn't in properly again, so I'm just going to have to screw this in before I start working on it. Otherwise we're going to have a wobbly computer. Because I have a habit of doing that, you know. Need to do something to... You change your name. Who were you before? Not Debonex, is it? Shopper. How's it going, Shopper? Also Clippy in the Discord, right? How's it going? How's things? How's work? Sort out the rotation on this. Problem is, after a few spins, it comes out again. I need to kind of do something to fix it, but no joke of woodworking. Playing Team Fortress 2 worked good. Is Team Fortress 2 getting updates still? I know that was a big hoopla some years ago that Valve just kind of abandoned it. I don't need 2 computers to fix. Well, it's not too bad then. I guess a quiet day. Quiet isn't always bad. Slow updates, community, yeah. And the weird thing is, it's like it's still one of the most popular games on Steam. Well, it's still got a cult following, like not as popular as their Money Spinner CS2, right? So, motherboard today. It's going to be very similar to. Let's flick it to. Look at that transition. I don't have to faff about with my mouse anymore. Slow updates. Look, it was a dead USB header and a DOA Wi-Fi card. Well, easy fixes. Well, the USB header you kind of screwed, but I guess they just need to stop using that USB. And a Wi-Fi card you just swap out, right? So, motherboard of choice from my homies at Maxim, B450M. Now, last week I did the i3 12100F and I was kind of deliberating, trying to decide whether my lower end build or my entry level build will have a B450 with a 5500 or an i3 12100F with a H610. And I made my decision. I basically did a bit of research in the UK market. And I just went and found the most popular CPUs, motherboards, GPUs, and wanted to find the perfect one. AM4 is still insanely popular. AM5 is creeping up, and Intel is not really in the question at the moment. So, census prevailed, and we were sticking with the B450 as the starting point. Oh yeah, the i5 9500 came and actually got it to boot with the Z170. Nice. So you did the BIOS flashing stuff. Hey yo, very nice. I have an i3 10100F SFF build, mostly finished. And all that's missing is a cheap GPU like a 2060 and an NVMe. But I'm selling it on eBay because I've already got 2 good PCs. Well, that's a nice little small form factor build. You'll be able to do 1080p gaming with no issues really with that. That's cool. I have a soft spot for the i3. Forgive me if my tongue gets stuck in my mouth. The i3 10100F I have a real soft spot for, and I'm thinking about buying. I've got like a load of old parts to shift, but I was looking at a real budget CPU, and the i3 10100F would be perfect. But motherboards are still really expensive for that line. I don't know why. Maybe because there's just not as many selling compared to Ryzen, for example. Speed is limited to limited to 2666 megahertz, but I got rebar full PCIe support. That's cool. And the thing is with Intel, you don't really need high clock speeds, right? 10100F is a 7700K, but not overclocked and lower TDP. Yeah, exactly. In fact, when it used to be one of my go-to budget build CPUs, and it was I used to always put in the tagline equivalent to an i7 7700. It's because otherwise people would read i3 and be like, oh, not good, but it's actually a really capable CPU. Underrated, in fact. Nice. It is nice. Everything's nice. What about the monitor? Monitor for this build? Not sure I'm following. Monitor in general. So, motherboard of choice, Maxon B450M. B450M motherboards for this build. Well, any 1080p 144Hz monitor I recommend. Good brand to use from the budget side of things is Koorui. I can never pronounce that name. Koorui. I think a lot of them are on Amazon. I've got one on my shelf actually. I'm thinking about getting them in to supply them, but that's kind of where I'd look for a 1080p monitor. But there's 1080p 144Hz monitors in abundance. If you want to make sure it's IPS, because you get the nice colours. And the good thing is they're so much more affordable nowadays. Even 1440. Oh, just look at that. Lost the packaging. 1440p monitors have become really affordable. So B450M Challenger motherboard. Very basic, but will do the job. I realised I'm short of an SSD. I need to grab that from a build that I'm not using anymore. We do that. Hello, Gubbo. A CPU in 1999 used in 2005 was hell, but using a 2014 CPU in 2025 works fine. Absolutely. Even DDR3 systems are still capable today. Like an i7 4790, or like my favourite from that era was the V3 Xeon series, like the V3 1231. Maybe we discussed this last time, but any of those i7 equivalents still holds up to this day. Maybe I'll do a video on that at some point. What I want to do is grab an SSD from a build that I'm not using because I don't have one to hand, I think, at the moment. I forgot to get it out, she said. Some of you might recognise this build from the other day. This is the X99 board that doesn't post, so that sucks. i7 4790K Legendary. It is. i7 4790K is still holding up to this day. The i5 2600K is also an absolute banger. I see a 180 Hz 1440p 27-inch monitor on Temu for €150. Is that a good price? That is a good price. Depends on the monitor, because you know sometimes with Temu things are a bit. Off goes the leg for the case. You just need to make sure you cross-reference that with another website, because Temu always bulk up their reviews. You might want to just make sure that other places are saying it's a good choice. Sorry, this is a bit unusual for me. I just need to take out the SSD from here. Oh, shoot. Realised I just hit my keyboard and now it's blocking my screen. Hey. What happened there? There we go. Smack my head, I got a used 1080p. I got a used HP monitor for $50, and it was 1440p 60 Hz. That's nice. No USB hub. Is that the Aquinos Aqua 3? Is a very beautiful case. No, this is called CIT Celsius. It is also a very good case. Very budget friendly, and I've kind of come to use it about 3-4 times now in recent weeks. Very affordable case. I'll show you once we get to this build. You'll see the black one that I'm working on. Just need to open a window in here as well. I'm sweating as always. Let me get the windows open. It's actually a bit cooler today in the UK. It's been really warm recently. It's a bit cool outside, which is I'm kind of thankful for, because working on PCs is hard work in the heat. So don't mind a midstream operation. How's everyone's days going so far anyway? In the meantime, must I commit to taking out this SSD? Yeah, unfortunately, I guess I should make a point that don't bother getting an X99 motherboard from AliExpress. I wanted to use them so many times, and every one that I've ever got has not worked properly. And now I'm still on the search for the perfect CPU platform, the perfect budget-friendly platform. Unfortunately, at the moment, I think it's just AM4 is the cheapest and most sensible one to use. I'm going to do a bit of research. The board we are using today. Let me zoom in a bit. Let me get to that in a moment. Actually, put this PC down to one side. Two seconds, I will show you the board and everything we're using. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see exactly what's going on. I need to set up on my Stream Deck don't even know why I'm bothered going to the extent of putting this screw back in, but I'm doing it. Let's get this PC out of the way now. For the Ryzen 5500, it's okay, but the god awful 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2. Three plus 2. Sorry, I'm not following. 3 plus 2. Just gonna pop this back. We'll get around to sorting it out after the stream. Oh, the VRMs. Sorry, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, do you know what with AM4, you can get away with it. It's less problematic. I've seen, so on AliExpress, for example, there's a machinist B450, and that's like budget of the budget, but it's even capable of running like a 5700X 3D, for example, without hiccup. I just realised there's no... I was about to say there's no IO shield, but I'm an idiot and I moved it. Is there an SSD screw anywhere? I can't seem to see it. I can maybe live without it for the moment, but it's not ideal. Did I move it somewhere? Is that what where to waitress? Yes, it is. Always. Yeah. Unless I'm going to speak to them about that because I should have had one in the packet. Make sure I haven't got one. Oh, I have got one. I'm a silly Billy. It's attached to the SATA cable. Yeah, so thank you for the resubscription, Carolina. Oh, Carolina, I should call you Little Bean, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. I should have got a notification. Oh, do you know what? My chat's not even appearing. Oh, sorry. I realised my chat's not even appearing on screen. It's showing for everyone else. Oh, it is. Did it come up? It did. It is at the bottom, that's good. I should have got like some notification, but Streambot just got an update today, and I wonder if it screwed things. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription there, Little Bean. So, back to the motherboard. I'm gonna try and zoom in a bit so we can see what's going on. I need to get for my Stream Deck thing, I need to get something where I can auto zoom in if I can do that. Don't know if I can. Hopefully that's easier to see for everyone. Show the I/O. Of course I can. Very exciting I/O. PS2 connections. For those using their mice from the 1960s. iODS FN. ODIS. I need to zoom in. I can't see the chat that well. Silly me. ODIS. How's it going? HDMI. VGA. 2 USB 3s, 2 USB 2s. Ethernet. And your audio, mic, etc. Basic, but does the job. My main PC I built in the Thermaltake Tower 300 case when I saw that thing. I knew I had to have it. It's what got me into building PCs. Thermaltake makes some decent cases. I really like their new Mini ITX series, especially like the Masher Green one. I'm thinking about grabbing that at some point. Oh, that's rough. £129 B450. Doing this a bit of an inverse. I'd normally do the SSD kind of last in the build, but here we are. It's because I've already got the smaller screwdriver out, or the screwdriver bit. The TR100, I think that's the one I like. I'm gonna Google it now. Thermaltake TR100. Yes, it is. That's the one I want to get my hands on at some point. I want to make a Halo theme build. So the Masher Green might be perfect for that. I got a Gigabyte B550, so it's much better. Yeah. So for my entry level builds, I'll be using a B450. I'm aiming to do, for the mid-range, I'll be aiming to do B550. There we go. So I'm going to pop in, so the SSD, old trusted, I've shown this about 3-4 weeks in a row. I promise it will be different next time. Oh God, can't even show you. Can't even control my hand, there you go. Kingston NV3 1TB NVMe SSD. Blue, so it doesn't really go with the build, but nobody's going to care once it's hidden behind a GPU. Halo is going to help spread some democracy soon, it certainly is. Next week, isn't it, that update? Painting some Halo decals on them would be very cool, like the Halo themed Xboxes. That is exactly my plan. Great minds think alike. I've actually got the Fractal Design Ridge as my downstairs PC, and I was half tempted to go through and spray paint all of that, but I'm just worried about the amount of time it's going to take me, and I never think I'm ever going to get around to doing. So I think I might change to the TR100 and yeah, get some decals and some sticker action going on. Cool. So, what size of the motherboard this is? This is a M80X motherboard. Looks very slim, very small, but it's M80X. So, not as big as an ATX, but bigger than a mini ITX. What I need, typically when you receive these motherboards, they don't come with CR2032 battery. M80X is the best of both worlds. It is. I think I prefer M80X in terms of sizes. I am going to need to probably switch to ATX for my main build because I just need more ports and stuff to plug it in. You got the same pack. Is it Amazon? I think I paid like, is it £10 for all of these? Yes. I just had to get as many as possible, so I don't have to keep running out of them. I use them all the time, especially when I receive new motherboards like this one. Paid a bit more, I guess maybe because it's imported or something. I had more of them somewhere. Misplaced them because my ADHD brain does that. Yeah, I think so. And I actually like that because the battery just pops out the bottom or back. Normally, it's much more painful. Set to last the end of the world. Do you know what the funny thing is? I bet I go through these quite quickly. Thing is, each time I get a shipment of these motherboards, they're missing this because they're shipped internationally, and battery regulations make it a pain in the ass, so I have to use these every time. Sir William Percival Montgomery Smythe. Let's see if I can pronounce this right. Chomodele? Chomodele. Oi to you. How's it going? That's a great name. So what we're going to do, I just remembered I don't think I brought a CPU cooler. Oh no, I've got the Ryzen one. Hello, Sir Percival Archibald Montague Worthington Smith. Hello, bruv. Yeah, I'm going to do the stock cooler, I just realised. And that's, yeah, typically I will do with the entry level build. I was thinking, shit, I haven't got a RGB cooler, but don't need it on this. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? Absolute banging names. Can I call you Percy for short? I remember seeing on post where a Chinese seller said they include the battery under the motherboard manual box. They put that in the note in the box, not online. In the box. Yeah, the battery regulations are so complicated from China. So they just don't bother sending it out in any boxes now. They just send it separately because the regulations got very tight. What is your opinion on those smelly Americans? Well, I think they're smelly. This is 4090 double D? What's one of those when it's at home? What CPU are you using? And motherboard, matey. Motherboard? Actually, I need to leave that in. Motherboard is Maxon Challenger B450M. The CPU of choice today is a Ryzen 5 5500. You can usually get these, I think that they're about like £55 now. Become really affordable. It's actually not that much to get 5600, but wanted to keep the budget to a minimal. Keep it minimal. Am I building this computer for a customer? Not technically. So this is going to be a pre-built option on my website. So I'll say eventually a customer might have this one. But this is mostly for testing, doing some content with, and then eventually looking to sell these in bulk, hopefully. I have a B450M Pro Max 2, then I have a R7 5800X and a RTX 3060, very nice. It's a very competent build. Better than 8400F, uses liquid metal, not paste, very nice. So that'll run much cooler than your average CPU. Hey, what's up, Electrostorm? The test bench will become my main PC when I get different components as the time goes on. Awesome. How much profit will I make from this build? Well, good question. So the market value of all this stuff, that's fine, no worries, Dreamseeker. So the market value for all this stuff is, I've actually got my calculations to hand. So it works out about £440 if you was to buy it. And I would be looking to sell the PC as a whole for £480. I haven't got the whole figures on how much I actually paid. It's a bit less than that. But you can basically, I'm going to put instructions on how to build this yourself, so I'm never going to make someone obligated to buy it if they want this PC. I'm going to tell them how to build it themselves. It's just for the people that don't want to build it themselves and don't have the time that they can make this. So yeah, I would estimate the profit for me would be, if I was to just sell the PC outright to someone, it'd be about £120, something like that. Subject to, that's full price though, and then there'll be times where I'll be doing discounts, etc. That's the plan, at least. That was the wrong one. I was copy and pasting. What did you mean to say? Not going to answer that one, Jimmy. Cheers though. Please put the CPU in already. Sorry, I've been getting delayed by all this chat coming in. Anyways, I was going to say that the motherboard to test. This is for my test bench. Nice. What motherboard did you get? Hello, Fabs. What's your opinion on black? I'm guessing that's a Jimmy that I know that's throwing me awkward questions like that. Don't be so rude and offensive. I'm gooning so hard right now. So, you want to see me put the CPU in? I did mention this, but I'm going to show you again. CPU of choice today is a Ryzen 5 5500. Brand new in box for about £55. It's not kind of the going rate at the moment. Put it in already, I'm waiting. I just like to tease before, we get it properly inserted. I don't want to just go, it's all about the foreplay. You don't just want to slam it in, you need to just carefully caress it in, Worst thing you could do is blow your computer up. Always innuendos for PC hardware, eh? What is your opinion on marijuana? My friend once had one whole marijuana, and he died. You died from marijuana. I once swallowed a marijuana and it nearly killed me. Me too, bruv. Me too, indeed. Is that Callum? My second rig is a i9 12900K with an RTX 3080 and 32 gigs of RAM that I plan on using for some AI stuff then. Very nice. What kind of stuff are you going to do? It is a Asus. Sorry, I'm still teasing everyone with the CPU. You can see it in my hand. Just going to carefully insert it. It is an Asus P6X58D premium motherboard. Damn, that's awesome. It's Merawazna. I know my Acer Extensor M2710. All these names I'm trying to have to read out. My brain just cannot cooperate. As DDR4, but the motherboard has got more features. That's cool. I'll be curious to see what that looks like. We insert. We've been teasing this for a while now. Just wanted to get the PC warm and ready, you know? So with AM4, of course, you want to make sure the gold triangle lines up. You don't want to fudge up the pins. You make sure the latch is up. Carefully line it up and make sure it just carefully slides in. You don't want any crunch as you push it down. Push the clip, in it goes. That is your installed Ryzen 5600X. Nice and easy, huh? So we're going to stick with this stock cooler. I'm going to have to make an adjustment on the fly. I'm going to show people this as well. Maybe, should I do it now? Does anyone want to see this now if I make some adjustments? I'm going to pop the motherboard off to the side whilst I show you what I mean. So, annoyingly, it's got a hair in it. Thermal paste with a hair in it. That was very annoying. I don't want to smudge that though. Hair will go in. So usually, which is a really annoying thing about AM4 CPUs and their coolers, is the AM4 logo faces to the left, which is really, really annoying. You see that? Why did they do that? Why did they think that was a good idea? So what you can do, I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to try and do it without touching any of the thermal paste. I don't know if this is a possibility. So you want to pop off your bracket off the CPU cooler, and you can see, I hope you can see okay, really hard for me to kind of navigate to the camera. See this little screw here? You got 4 of those going around the outside. You want to undo all of those. I'm going to try and do it without touching the thermal paste because I can't be asked to redo the thermal paste again. So I'm in one of those kind of lazy moods. Need to make sure your screwdriver fits, so you can Google Asus P658D premium motherboard. I will take a look. So, what you're going to do is undo these screws like I mentioned. I should have done this before stream, but makes for an interesting stream if I do it, I guess. I don't know if it's interesting, but... Just zoom out a bit so you can see this. I hate plastic pin cooler attachments, stock Intel coolers. Yeah, the older ones sucked. I don't mind the newer ones as much. The AM4 coolers typically quite good anyway, I think. thank you for the sub, my dude. Yeah, annoyingly, like, I wish YouTube kind of showed the sub things, but thank you for that. Don't get like any notification or anything from YouTube, annoyingly. Hopefully there'll be some content. I've been working on a few things, but annoyingly, most of it evolves around this PC that I've been working on in the background for a while, trying to find the perfect budget CPU. Right, with the fan now taken off, you basically you're going to want this bit, so you can see the two clips here. See how we go. That's basically where the AMD logo sits. So you're going to want that facing upwards. So you see, you want to line this up so when the AMD logo goes on, the AMD logo goes at the top. Now I'm going to try and do this without getting thermal paste on my fingers. You ready? Also, fun fact, my main PC, the Acer one, costed like £28. Awesome. Absolute bargain. What do you run on that? Is that just Windows? I love little builds like that. And then exciting news, I'm thinking of moving my main PC over to Linux, but it remains to be seen just yet. If I can make sure that everything will run, I will stay on Linux. I finally finished my work today. Nice. GG's. Congratulations. I'm going to go for a nap or something. Yeah, that sounds good. I've heard napping at this time is called sleeping. So, of course, I wouldn't recommend to try and hang on to the thermal paste like I'm doing. It's very risky that you're going to get thermal paste on your hands. But you see, that clip's going to face up when I get these final two screws in. Can I rate your... Sorry, I just got a message. Can I rate your budget PC and see what I could change? I'm mainly playing Minecraft. Go for it. Welcome back, Dreamseeker. Yeah, what kind of build are you rocking with? PC part picker. Do you mind pasting the parts out so I just don't have to click on the link right now? I can have a look in a minute. I'm new to PCs, I know nothing. No, that's fine. That's what I'm here to help with. Yeah, if you can just send me the components and stuff you're looking at in the chat, I will happily have a look for you. So you see, when you get all your screws back in, my finger's holding it like this, but still trying to avoid the thermal paste. Now sometimes with these AM4 fans you'll get two screws in there, so you just need to make sure if you've got those that you undo those before doing this. Then you just want to put this back on without touching the thermal paste. Again, probably just remove the thermal paste if you're doing this yourself. You see the clip goes back in, and now we've got the AMD logo facing upwards, and it looks much better on your build. We just carefully screw that in. I'll take a look at that build in a mo. I don't know why AMD coolers don't come like this. Yeah, I agree. It's one of my bugbears. I'm sure they used to or something. But yeah, I like that you can dismantle these because there's times where, so for example, when I've done like custom PC builds and I want to keep using the cooler, I take it off and spray paint it. It looks really nice. Best GPU in recent time, are we talking like latest generation? Because in that case I think the 9060 XT holds the crown at the moment. But my favourite of all time is probably the 1080 Ti, or I also have a real sweet spot for the RX 580. Let's have a look at this build then. Ryzen 5 5500, good choice. That's exactly what I'm using today. Deep Cool AK 400. GPU is RX 6600. Motherboard is a B550 with 32 gigs of RAM, 2 times 16, 3200. Sounds good. All sounds very, very, very capable. Sounds like a really solid build. I really like the. As long as you've got it all at a fair price, I would say pretty solid all around. I think that's a really good starting point. The nice thing is AM4 is still upgradable. You can still go to 5700X 3D or 5800X 3D, and then you can max out your GPU to all the way something like an RTX 5070 without an issue, I would say. Mate, what's better, a Ryzen 5 5500 or an i5 12600KF? i5 12600KF is a more powerful CPU for sure. It's just one of those things. It's like, do you want to go? The upgrade path isn't as good as AM4 is, for example, because especially with the pricing of the i7 and the i9, and also potentially problematic issues unless you update your BIOS with the CPUs breaking, etc. Did the coolers include thermal paste? What am I missing? This one did. Sorry, I should have shown. It had like a square of thermal paste. You can redo it yourself. I think it's usually absolutely fine. 3060 Ti is my favorite. Really bang for the buck. Yeah, it's a really solid GPU. The only thing that I don't like about it now, I really liked it upon its launch. The problem is the VRAM issue. I really like the. In a similar playing field, this 6700 XT is my go-to because of the 12 gigabytes of VRAM. It's more like, it's not far off a 3070 in performance, RTX 3070. I'd recommend switching to a B450 motherboard with a VRM heatsink. It will let you run a 5700X, 5700 or higher. It's true. I would say. The thing is, I think even with bad VRMs, you can get away with higher on AM4. Like I mentioned about that really cheap machinist board, I've seen that run with 5700X 3Ds and it's been fine. You're not going to get the full performance out of it. But your B450 will save you a bit of money as well, which is not a bad shout. Will you reveal 1,000 subscribers? 1,069 subscribers, I'll show you my wizard. I don't know why I said that. The Ryzen, the RX 6600 is pretty nice. Yeah, great GPU for the price. Machinists don't always have VRM heatsinks. They do on the B450. It's a small one like this. Clip it. Yeah, someone clip that. No, don't clip that. Please don't remember that. I've already forgotten. What were we talking about? So, I actually realised I don't think this is quite clipped in properly. I just want to make sure the bracket clicks when you put it back together. Oh, maybe it's fine. It's fine. So AMD logo sticking up. I clipped it, thanks. It's good to know. Jesus. I realised I didn't get RAM ready. I will grab some RAM. Just double check my stock. And by stock I mean, did I shove some in the drawer? I feel like I have got some somewhere. What I was actually meant to do is get 32 gigabytes of RAM, but it didn't come in time. Will I benchmark the PC? I certainly will. You'll see. I'm going to be hopefully working on it tomorrow, and you'll see exactly what. I can't find any RAM. You'll see exactly how well it performs. I'm going to do all popular titles: Warzone, Fortnite, Valorant, CS2, all the popular titles, and maybe any requests if anyone's got them. I don't know what these long words mean, but is this something you recommend? MSI B450A Pro Max? You'll be fine. Play Fortnite on performance mode, battle royale, always. Thing is, it's going to get 250 FPS and higher. Oh, new performance mode with DX12. No, I have tried that, I think, because there's it gets a bit confusing, but there's DX12 performance mode, and then there's like DX11 performance mode, right? I think I have tried the latest one, if I'm not mistaken. It was like, I think you're going to get 200 plus FPS. RAM. Just going to double check what RAM I've got available. In fact, I guess I'll BRB on that. Don't trip over your lights, anyone I recommend. 2 seconds. Test my Steam Deck, see if it works. There you go. Hello. Special. Thank you for the follow, Estelle. That chair looks like it's on life support, probably with my fat ass. Probably is on its last legs. I need a new chair. But I mean, to be fair, it's still fine. I mean, it's just tighten the screws. Normal Bazooka Max or V2? I think either's fine, really. Special bouncy chair just by itself, yeah. It probably doesn't help that my arse is really fat. We go back to the transition go. So the RAM we're going with, Lexar DDR4 3200 megahertz. Same RAM I used last week. Won't always be the RAM that I'll use with this build, because unfortunately RAM is really spotty in terms of pricing at the moment, especially DDR4. That's the RAM kit, CL16, it's fine. Did I add thermal paste before installing the CPU cooler? I didn't, because the cooler already had thermal paste on it, and I was being lazy and couldn't be asked to change it. Basically, stock coolers always have a bit of thermal paste on them by default. If you wanted to put some fancy stuff on it, you can. Usually the default thermal paste is absolutely fine. Just more legwork changing it, I would argue. So yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to burn the house down by not putting thermal paste on there, don't worry. I'm just going to route this cable out of the way because it's driving me insane. There we go, that'll do. So the RAM, 32 gigabytes. Now, for an entry-level build, I was umming and ahhing whether 16 is enough. I'm starting to think it isn't, especially with the requirements of Windows 11 being gross. So typically, you're gonna now do 32, I think, 32 gigabytes. Not much RAM clearance now that I've adjusted the bracket for the CPU cooler, but enough. Is it a mini ATX? It is. It's a very small mini ATX, but it is mini ATX. You can tell by basically the PCI, you would only typically have that on a mini ATX. Thermal paste to thermal paste, more thermal in thermal paste, more paste in thermal, you know. Exactly. Cool. RAM installed. What I can now do is actually tuck this cable under the cooler, so you shouldn't see that when it goes into the build itself. So that is a motherboard installation. Now to get the case out. 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I decided to go with 32. It's a difficult question whether 16 is enough, and I'm thinking it's not in this day and age. Now typically I'm trying to do 32. I want to eliminate any RAM bottlenecks in this now. Unfortunately, DDR4 prices have also climbed, which is a pain in the bottom. So, put that to one side. Let's go, should we go front cam? Move the motherboard to one side with the IO shield. This will get installed in a moment. Out of Europe, Union prices have yet to climb. We're facing it in the UK. It's now got to, for like a set of 32 or like two 16s, 32 gigabytes, you were looking at £70 or something ridiculous. Am I a Diddy supporter? No. But I do like, baby, I'm not going to say it. Did he put out the hit that got pot killed, right? DDR5 is still so expensive. Yeah, it's getting better though. It's getting better. It's like, unfortunately, because DDR4 is getting so expensive, it's like, now should you go DDR5? And I think still no at the moment, because I'm going to tell you to stop doing that kind of stuff now. Not answering that question. Did it slip like dig it? Did he? It said he did. Sorry. Couldn't have that up. So, the case. This one, if you've been here in the last few weeks, you've probably seen this a bunch of times. This is the, no, it's all good. This is the CIT Celsius. CIT Celsius, yes it is the CIT Celsius. Sorry, I'm now catching up with questions. PC Good is Arctic fans, love Arctic fans. Make sorry, where are you from, bruv? From Essex. How about you? So, sorry, back to the case. Getting distracted very easy. This is what happens with my brain. Any ARGB fans, or are you going full black on this build? There is ARGB fans built in by, I say built in, I need to install them. I'll show you that in a moment. Yeah, there'll be 3 ARGB fans which are included. It is a very cool fish stands case. It's nice and budget friendly as well. Sorry, didn't hear you. I'm from Essex. Whereabouts are you from? Don't worry, I wouldn't tell about the furries. Okay. Cool. CIT Celsius. Very good case. I've actually got. Thank you for picking up on that. Mike died. Do I wear women's clothes? Not typically, I'm afraid. Thank you. I didn't even realise the battery died on that one. Let's charge that. CIT Celsius is the case today. Did I mention that? Answer all the questions. Safe environment. Oh, good, thanks. Budget-friendly case. So you're really throwing me off my game here. I'm just going to fix up the. I don't know. What are the main specs on my main PC? It's a good question because I've got 2 technically. So the office PC that I'm using, so I feel like a rich bastard. I've got 2 PCs that I use. So this is the office PC, has Ryzen 5 7400F, so the entry level point CPU on AM5, 32 gigs of RAM. Intel Arc B570, believe it or not, but this is actually subject to change and upgraded to an 18. Using a CIT Clipser case, and then downstairs on my living room PC, I've got a 7900 XTX and a Ryzen 7 5700X 3D. Sorry, getting annoyed. Got on a timeout. Put me off my game. I'm trying to concentrate. Yeah, it's killer specs. Don't use it enough. And honestly, I'm thinking about selling all the parts and just makes it more budget friendly. I just don't use it as much as I should, really. So, sorry, getting distracted too much. CIT Celsius case, very budget friendly case. Comes with 3 CIT fans. It's an interesting way of asking. If the B380 were to release, would you use them in your build? I'll give them a try. I've got B580s to try very soon. It depends on the scenario. If it's good enough, of course. I don't want to reward Intel by giving them money for a bad GPU. But saying that, I'm probably going to try the RTX 5060 at some point. Unfortunately, I have to. Just going to open the case here. Put mics with RGB everywhere. Good shout. So opening up front panel here. Am I a Linux user? If so, what distro? So, good question. So my PC downstairs runs Bazzite. And I'm planning to maybe try moving my main office PC to, what would I put it on? I don't know what distro I'd use actually. Maybe just something simple like Linux. Thinking about, do I go Arch at some point? Just so I can say I use Arch, by the way, to everyone I ever know. So let's get these fans out of the packet. It's always an interesting one with CIT. They don't always include the fans in the builds themselves. Linux is trash, Windows is king. Okay. I've had bad experiences with Windows. Good thoughts on Bazzite. I really like Bazzite. I use I've got a Steam Deck, so it's just like using a Steam Deck for my PC downstairs, which is awesome. I just kind of want it to be like a console anyway. Sorry mate, but what is the case inches? All right, I will tell you. I'll get the specifications. You've never had a single bad experience. That's cool. Unfortunately, I wish I could say the same. Yeah, you did actually mean that. Well, I apologise if I got it wrong. You have to forgive me after the questions. I'll get you the dimensions of the case. How about that? I only put you on a timeout anyway. Bad experience with Windows. I mean, Dreamseeker will probably tell you the amount of bad experiences he's had with Windows working in a workshop. I need to get this up on my website so I can actually show the specifications properly out. So, I can't actually find it. There we go. These are mainline kind of specifications. So yeah, 195 millimeters width, 298 in depth, and height 385. Weight is 3.25. Sorry for misunderstanding your question. Just trying to keep it civil. Is it like having a Steam console, like having the console experience? Like, yeah, it's like having a giant Steam Deck, essentially. So you just load it up, Steam loads into big picture mode, and you're ready to go. I have many cases not with big G. Let's see if it takes me a while to do the fans, because this always takes a bit of time. I actually kind of wish the fans come included. You know what I'll do, thinking about it, I'll put in the motherboard first because I don't want the fans interfering with the installation of that. I'll grab my screw pot, wherever I've misplaced it. I'm sure it was here. Okay, I guess I misplaced that. I know I didn't, I'm an idiot. Didn't even see it on the stream. The Willy reveal is at time that I can't reveal now. And I need to keep that a secret. I'll tell you what, I will show you the Willy at 1069 subscribers. Have to push and help me get 1069 subscribers still. Yeah, but goodbye. I haven't actually got any moderators in. I'm gonna give you one. Just what I was gonna do. I can do it from here. I'll probably have to do it on Twitch itself. Give me a mo. Yeah, I've got no. I was gonna say I've got no moderators in the chat, have I? Did a YouTube follow? Did a YouTube follow? Well, you can. I don't care if it's a joke. You're a mod now. What you've done. I don't know. Actually, how do I do that? How do you mod someone? I can't even mod you. Invite? No? How does one mod someone? Guess I go into mod view and do it. What's the most expensive PC I've ever built? Sorry, give me 1 sec. You earned my respect. You are now a mod. Thank you. You've just been thrown into the summit. You are now a mod. Thank you, Otis. I'm just so dumb when it comes. I couldn't believe it. Most expensive PC I've ever built. That question will change very soon because I'm going to be building I've half built someone of 9800X3D RTX 5090 build. I would say that is going to be the most expensive. I've done high-end builds quite a lot, but that's top tier. Should be moderator only when you get me to 1,069 subscribers, though. You can moderate moderators. Yeah, the most expensive is the 9800X3D with a 5090 so far. I haven't really done. When I started getting into building PCs, SLI was kind of getting phased out. Although I tell you what, my first. So I had a bit of money and I decided to get into PC building, and I had 980 Ti and SLI. That was pretty expensive at the time, but nothing compared to 90 days age. I have a 9800X3D with a 2060 Super. That's a lot of CPU for not a lot of GPU. You're doing a lot of CPU intensive stuff. That makes sense. What games are you playing? Just get the IO shield. What am I doing? I said I was going to get the motherboard in first. What I'll do is go top cam. Let's zoom out a little bit. Go to about completely. There we go. So we're going to install the motherboard, then I'll go to the fans. I don't want to get in the. I had a problem not too long ago where I tried to install the motherboard. I tried to do something on the motherboard and this fans were blocking it, so I'd rather not be in that situation again. Not gonna lie, man, you should do Windows. There's a mass load of ways to get Windows for a very good price. Mass. As in, like, a mass lot of options. Is PC building in the UK saturated? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm one of like millions and millions of people that do PC building in the UK. So I'm trying to do things a little bit different. I'm not just being a PC builder where you can say you can buy it. I'm actually showing, sorry about my hair. I'm actually showing people how they can build the PCs themselves, and they can all buy the parts from me, etc. as well. Trying to be a bit more transparent, I guess, with my PC. Not just trying to sell tut or crap without explaining why I'm selling parts. 4090, 128 gigabytes DDR5. Damn, that's a lot of RAM. 1600 watts. I think you've got me beat there. But the 59 is so expensive. Is mass safe? Yes. As long as you use, so there's one on GitHub that is safe. Just go to, I can't put the URL for obvious reasons, but there is one link that people will tell you about. You can use. I mean, I think Linus Tech Tips did a video about it. That's how much you use it. You can import 5090s from America for £1,700. That's cheap. Well, not cheap as in it's a really expensive GPU, but that's cheap for the 5090X 3D. 7950X 3D. I still haven't seen a 9950X 3D in hand. I would like to see one of those. Oh yes, I've installed the motherboard, but I need to get the screws out of the base. Silly me. Mass grave, I think that's the one. Thing is, when it comes to buying cheap keys, those kind of grey markets are really shady. So typically, you're going to not want to do that. I had the screwdriver ready this time, so I can change the standoff position. Annoyingly, always have to change the standoff position. Yeah, mass grave is better than using one of those grey market CD keys, I would always say. Microsoft don't care for the most part, but it seems like they want you on the platform so they can mine your data. As long as you're on Windows, they're happy, mate. It seems. Do I like open air builds? I do. I haven't, truth be told, I've never made one. There was one I really liked. I think it's like Asus Prime something or the other. It was like I did a short on it. It was like my second ever short, and it was such a nice looking build. I would have liked to have done that, but the parts were just ridiculously expensive. You can build PC with air. You certainly can. You can imagine PCs if you wanted to. The name of the case is a CIT Celsius. Sorry, I should have had a command ready for the parts list, but CIT Celsius. Open air is in the PC on a motherboard with the PSU dangling. Classic. Samsung 1998 Pro SSD 4TB RAM. Aren't those? They got a bad rap, didn't they? The Samsung SSDs. They used to be like the go-to for like high end, but then there was like a really bad batch or something once upon a time. Does it float? Anything can float if it's enough water, right? And the man come back and ask me to order some Noctua fans. Sounds about right. Do love Noctua though. So here's the screws going in the screw pot. Some cable ties to do some cable tying. Let's get the motherboard screwed in, shall we? £500 worth of Noctua. Jesus, that's a lot of fans. The screw doesn't like that screwdriver bit that I'm using. TV for 10. At that point, just like I know I've got like a really crazy high-end rig, but my heart's always in it for the budget. I just like, if I'm gonna try and purposely cool my build in a quiet mode, I'm just gonna go with Arctic. That's just. I'm scared of open air because of dust. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's the problem. You just would have to constantly maintain it. There we go. I've finally got the good screwdriver bit. 5k, damn. Buy an alright car for that much. Actually, don't think it is the right screw. The only thing I would say about the screws for the case itself, they're not the highest quality. So, yeah, damn right. For 5k, you have to give yourself commission. So, I don't know if I should use a different screwdriver because it doesn't like the LTT. Oh. Seeing if I can spare screw. Eventually, my ADHD brain has lost the bunch. Okay, we move. Hey mate, I'm desperately searching for a PC builder. Sadly, there's no shipping to Germany, it seems. Not from me, I'm afraid. But, hey Debinex, how's it going? I can, as Dream's alluding to, you can follow this and build it yourself. Dream, you live in Germany, right? Yo, David, what's up? I keep changing screw bit. I'm not very tech savvy. I will see if I can find someone in Germany that can help you out. I'm sure Dreamseeker. I don't know if he can help you out. A small beetle, tiny beetle went inside my case. I removed the panel right after that. Tried to find it, but probably couldn't see where it was or where it went as it's too tiny. Can it possibly harm my PC or my components? Really worried though. So, gonna go on a tangent here. During lockdown, was installing GPU, my PC, managed to get a Vega 64, if anyone's familiar with that GPU, back when it was still quite decent. And basically what had happened, I was doing some test runs with the PC just to make sure the drivers and everything were working. Wasp comes in the room and bashes into my GPU, gets zapped by the power cable and dies. It stopped the process of the drivers being installed, and it killed the Wasp. Thankfully, the GPU was okay, but I didn't shit my pants, quite frankly, that I killed my GPU because Wasp killed it. I've seen cases with bugs and stuff in. I think you're going to be okay. If you can't find it, I would say get like maybe an air duster or something like that and just try and blow it out if you can. Do you need a CPU cooler or can I build without it? You can build without it, but you're going to need a CPU cooler at some point. You need to cool your CPU down somehow. Hey Cat Videos, how's it going? If not to a GPU, a Hawk to a... Cool, Hawk to a career died off, right? After like sending out dodgy crypto coins. I'm doing good, thank you. But JQ, if you're feeling brave enough, you could always try and copy. There's a shit ton of YouTube guides as well if you ever wanted to give it a go. It's just like, I always say PC building's like adult Lego. Oh well, how hard? Oh well, how hard? So basically your GPU killed the bug and not the opposite, no. Also in my days working in a workshop, I've literally seen spiders with eggs everywhere and the PC worked. You'd be very unlucky to get a issue with that. Hooked to a hard special technique. Why are you taking so long? Am I just, you know, I said, you've got to take your time with this stuff, you can't rush it. That shit's me. I can try building my own, but cable management will be horrendous, but it doesn't matter as long as it powers on and you like it. But if you watch this, you'll have an idea of the kind of stuff you can do. Shit ton of guides on YouTube. If you're feeling brave enough, give it a go, I would say. I don't imagine there is some decent PC builders in Munich if you really are stuck though. I don't know any off the top of my head, but they'll always try and help you out. Oh well, and they still work fine, that's crazy. Yeah, it was disgusting. But yeah, after a good clean out, it worked absolutely fine. You'd be very unlucky to have a bug completely just wreck your PC, but I would say if you can grab an air duster, blow it out, it's probably going to fly out anyway. Sorry, I know I keep getting distracted on the build. I'll be quicker, I promise. Getting distracted with all the talk, no. Very bad at multitasking. So let's switch to this one. Do this one. I think you're going to be fine. Just get an air duster. I'm the type of person to buy a decent PC, like 5 to 6 years, and get a new one. I don't know if I can trust my building skills for all these parts. If you're really unsure, yeah, just try and. I need to put a command in for my Discord, but come in the Discord and I'll see if I can help you out. It's been almost 5 days now. Is there a chance that you could be dead by now? Find a way out of the case. Good question. I don't know. Depends on what case, etc. you've got, and if there's open spaces. I think you're going to be fine though. Just give it a dust out if you can. Right, I'll install the case fans now. I promise. Be distracted of my weary age. Yeah, it's probably going to die at some point if it's not all dead already. It hasn't got a source of food either. It's probably long dead. I'll turn and face the case this way so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah, I've seen many live creatures in the PC, don't worry. They're built to withstand a lot nowadays. Maybe about 20, 30 years ago you would have problems, but I think you'll be fine now. So just installing the eat the bug, bit of protein. Bug now has a family. It's mated with one of the RAM sticks, I'm afraid. So there you go, half bug, half RAM. Done it awkwardly. By the way, I love your content, keep it up. Thank you. I need to get back to doing content. Should see some long form content. I'm gonna tentatively say within 2 weeks. Should see some content about this. This is gonna be one of my mainline PCs. Useful that I was able to get inside through the mesh holes of the case. Bug called other bug for your Discord. think you're going to be fine, my friend. Don't stress about it too much. I have had cases where PCs literally have had water on them, drinks, and they've still come back from that. A bug will be alright. I am certain. Yeah, my friends still get a kick out of that Wasp story as well. How Wasp actually stopped my GPU from installing its drivers because it zapped it. It's fucking ludicrous. I was like, I have no idea how to explain this to anyone. So I was installing my GPU, and they still talk about anytime I get a new GPU or install a new GPU, they're talking about that Wasp. Goes down the folklore. Cool. You have to put a bit of tension on, not tension, a bit of pressure on the screws when screwing it in. That's one fan in. The thing that I hate about this kind of case is trying to sort out the fan cables for the controller itself. So those who told me it can kill my PSU GPU or cause a short were trolling me. It's not. I don't want to say it's impossible. I just think the likelihood is very slim. Have you got like an air duster you can use? Because you can just get like cans of air or something like that, pour it out just to be certain. Give it a once over and just make sure there's no debris. I'm going to rotate the case this way just so it makes it easy to install this fan. Put a bit of pressure on from the top as well. Yeah, the screws aren't the best quality as I mentioned, so you have to make sure you put enough force behind your screwdriver. My little finger like that. It'll be a very stealthy looking build. I actually kind of like the look of it, but we'll have RGB. No RGB included on the motherboard, but that's fine because the case can control the RGB colors themselves. I know typically RGB is kind of coming out of fashion, but people still do like it a fair bit. I wanted to use the air duster immediately, but we're worried to do it as it is more worried about it getting pushed inside of the case. I suppose I see what you mean. Aim it towards the outside of the case. These budget fans suck. Why not stand apart? Saving 3 pin better with 6 pins. To be fair, these are PWM, well, not PWM, but 4 pin. But I do hate the typical crappy 6 pin ones. Yeah. It might have already left your case. I just bought a ton of Antec fans for £3, €3 a piece. That's cheap. The budget fans I typically go for if I'm buying fans separately are Thermal Right. They do like a pack of 3 for like £12 or something like that. I'm just trying to add spice to a average case or whatever. One fan installed at the top. Just gonna have to lift up the case just so I can route the cables first. The very top, I think. It's almost been 4 to 5 days by now, and it happened last Friday. I don't know. I think it's still inside. Yeah, it's really hard to tell you. I mean, if it was me, I would personally just take the chance and turn the PC on. I don't want to guarantee anything, of course. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Or is that the name of the fan? So, 1, 2. Yeah, stress test it, cook it alive. Or it might like it and think it's actually a tropical climate. Getting. I think you're fine. So yeah, these screws aren't the best quality. So you, as I keep mentioning, you just have to make sure you put pressure down on the screwdriver to turn the screw. And you push the fan up as well, that helps. To see how easy it is to round these. I should probably get in the habit of swapping them, but if you get this case, you probably don't have a choice, so I would just always recommend you make sure that you're putting enough pressure from the top. Collaborate. You mean us collaborate, sorry. Collaborate? Unless you want to see my finance. Your spreadsheets. You could give me a run for my money on your spreadsheets, I have no doubt. I'm starting to get thirsty. So the last few weeks I've set a goal to be done by 10 PM. We have an hour and 15 minutes. I think I'm making good progress. The only thing it will take a little bit of time after that. I say I'm making good progress, I have started a bunch of time, so. But, compared to where I used to be, this is a lot quicker. Just trying to get used to streaming and building a PC at the same time is not always easy. Let's do some pre-cable management. Gonna pop those over the top. So USB header was at the bottom. Noticing this is quite typical. They used to be on the sides. I guess they probably are on the higher end builds. USB 3 header in. Again. Then you want to do HD audio, headed audio, match up the pins. Those in. Then we do USB 2. Song reminds me of Final Fantasy. Just me. Like an old Final Fantasy game. Then we run the IO headers. HDD LED in the bottom there. Maybe I should for the video. We'll go top down. I was curious about this 5500. Really solid budget CPU. So I was thinking for this build I either go for the 3600 or the 5500 because they're basically the same, but the 5500 just slightly better when it comes to thermals and total draw power. So, and the price is just like much of a muchness really. That's why I opted for the 5500. So what I'm going to do is hook up the Stream Deck so I can zoom in quicker next time around, I think. HDD LED in the bottom, she said. Power LED plus on the far left hand side. I convinced the dude to sell me a 5800X used on eBay for 110. First time buying new CPU, fingers crossed. Well, you've got eBay, you covered anyway. It's a good thing. Got 30 days coverage, I think. How important is the L3 cache? Is it small on 5500, right? You'll get better performance out of the 5800X. It's not much though, depending on the scenario. Depends on like your resolution, etc., and a load of other variables. They should make it one big plug like the old USB 2 or HD audio. I agree. I still hate that we're still doing this to this day. There's not just a block. I know some cases have just it as a block. I'm still having to plug in all these cables awkwardly when I would just like to just slot it in and call it a day. There's no reason why it's not like that anymore, or why it's not changed. What I'm going to make sure to do is take out the reset switch. So I need to run that back to the fan controller because that will control the LEDs. I can't thank you enough for answering the questions while building. I'm happy to help, man. I get distracted quite easily, but I try to do my best to help where possible. Trying to develop my multitasking skills. God, I made that cable look really ugly. Just buy a CPU with a big number and a complicated name, guys. That is probably not actually that far from the truth. I've heard the more digits you get, the better. God, I've done an ugly job on that. Wasn't paying attention properly. Taking my hair now. So I'll tuck these I/O cables back in. I'll tidy that up somehow. It's not too bad now. Cool, that's all those cables installed now. I guess I can run the fan cables to the controller now as well before we get everything else installed. Or will I? Because I normally... So with the controller, hey Miss Tech, you're on YouTube, normally on Twitch, how's it going? That's why it threw me off for a second. Is the Intel Pentium okay for gaming in 2025? Unless there's a new one that's come out. Probably not. i3 is typically the lowest, or what is it, the Ultra 3 now? Or whatever stupid name Intel have gone with. Is normally the lowest you want to kind of go with on Intel. Boy bruv, skibbity toilet is peak British vibes. In it fam. Imagine sipping tea with the Queen while a Lou shouts skibbity dop. God, I can't even keep up with this. Skibbity dop dop, yes, yes, mad bands, proper UK energy, but Ben can't go. Save keys. What one and that? I think. Just said words. G3258, it did used to be good, to be fair. It was like, it's the problem with the dual core stuff, isn't it? Are they now quad core Pentiums? Do they even have Pentiums in the new range? Cool. We're going to install the power supply now. I will get back to doing these fans after, I think. Wonder if I should. Done a terrible job with this, so I'm going to need to kind of tuck that in. Maybe use a twist tie to tuck that together. YouTube is weird, mate. It is weird. Just for streaming, is very interesting. What is the motherboard chipset? 550 on this one. B450. Skibbity toilet in Britain is. Oh no, I already read that. I know, did I read it? Very safe. In it, cap. No fan. No cap. God, you can tell I'm down with the kids, right? Nothing's more British than sipping hot tea on a rainy day in it, bro. From Earl Grey to builder's brew. The kettle runs the kingdom, proper vibes. Big Ben ticking while we dunk biscuits. God, Jesus. I can't even keep up with that meme. Is it a meme? Or is it something that you've come up with? Mish, I'm going to make you moderator on YouTube, because I don't have a moderator on YouTube. I can do it now. You are now a moderator on YouTube. Don't know if that worked. That was the most British message I've ever seen. You want me to try and say it properly? Nothing's more British than sipping hot tea on a rainy day in it, bro. From Earl's Grey to builder's wall, kettle runs the kingdom, proper vibes, Big Ben ticking while we dunk biscuits, darling. You... Be the best mod I've ever had on YouTube. But thank you. How comes you're on YouTube this time around, or are you just browsing on YouTube and coincidentally stumbled here? I'm not going to try and say that one again. This guy in Facebook Marketplace is selling a Ryzen 9500X for $137. That is cheap. As long as it works, that's good. You would have to make sure to ask him to show you it's working, I would say. Alright. So, go to front cam. I'm going to move the case to one side just to show you the power supply. Excuse me. It smells like for parts. It seems really cheap. If they can show you it working, absolute bargain, go grab that. I don't think Percival is an AI, or if he is, he's a very convincing one. Yeah, it does seem very fishy. If it's genuine, then that's an absolute bargain. I know, run out and grab that this second. PSU of choice today. If you've been in my recent streams, you've probably seen this. Very budget orientated power supply. Might not appear on your power supply tier list, but for this kind of build, absolutely fine. It's got enough headroom so you can do little upgrades as well down the line. Cables are a bit ugly. It's the only thing I don't really like about it, and it doesn't come with the kettle lead, so you have to buy those separately, which is a slight nuisance, but kind of is what it is. Some cable ties and some screws in the box. Sketch budget PSU. They're not bad. I've used these in abundance and they're fine. Just don't put like a RTX 5090 or something ridiculous on it, I would say. They're not like the dodgy one you would find on eBay or AliExpress, etc. These kind of ones you just have to be sensible and not.
Probably, oops, sorry, that's probably really loud. Probably not something you see every day. But if you're an idiot like me, you don't charge your microphones in time. You now have to use studio microphone to build. Sorry. Forgive me. At least it'll probably sound a lot clearer. I'm just gonna have to remember to keep talking into the microphone is the only slight problem. Hopefully it sounds good though. Probably sounds a lot better than the microphone I was just using. I'm gonna stick those on charge before I forget. Give me a moment. I don't know. And I just put it in there and I didn't cast it. YouTube is wank, but that's fine. That's why I like to leave Twitch open, really. Mate, I believe it'd be splendid if you modded me on Twitch. If you stick around longer, I can maybe look into doing that. I still can't hear him. It's like, it sounds great. Thank you. So it probably sounds a lot better now. at least I'm good at improvising. So, hopefully at a distance you can still hear me okay. Get this power supply in the way. I can kind of tuck it away. Let me know at any point if you don't hear me, okay? Hopefully the volume's alright and you can kind of hear what's going on. Note to self, make sure everything's charged before starting your stream. What is the build for? Do you flip them? Yes. This is going to be a build that I put on my website as my entry level. I've been fighting my brain about, as Amish, for 6 to 7 months trying to find the perfect, what I think is the perfect 3 builds that I could sell as a pre-built. So just to not complicate customers get to my... So yes, this is my entry level. And then over the next couple of weeks, see mid-range and the higher end. But then I will typically have consultancy builds for the ultimate higher end. That makes sense. A non-modular power supply in that tiny case is a crime. Yeah, I know, but you're not going to find a cheap enough power supply to kind of... I have the original Nintendo Switch. Nice. Nice to see people use the 1660 Super on budget builds. Yeah, absolutely. The only GPU I would use instead of this one in this kind of price range is the, not one that's used often, is the RX 5600X. But I think for £80 or thereabouts for us, unless you do get the 50. It's the perfect like esports entry level. GPU. Still capable of playing Warzone, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 is fine with. Any esports. Not gonna play Doom, but frame rate. Play Cyberpunk. I know Cyberpunk is not actually that new nowadays, but still capable. Might have to go get 60 Super. They're really 1070s long. Thing is, depends on what you play. You won't be able to play new titles necessarily with the 1070, but weirdly enough, the 1070 is probably better than. 439 is a great price for a PC that will play anything. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to do much better, and I kind of just fine tune. You could maybe swap out for an Intel CPU, but I think the range of upgrades and the price of AM4. Ryzen D. Radeon 7 looked so good, but was very power hungry. Formed like a 1080 Ti Elite power. That's the one that was like, looked like it had a dent in it. Here's a nice dent. I fit my truck in farming sim. Sorry. If you're going to be upgrading, you might as well go big and get a massive upgrade. Yeah, I mean, depending on your setup, you could upgrade to something. A nice upgrade from that would be like 5700 XT, something like that, if you want to keep on the budget side of things. Sad to see the design die off. Yeah, it's a shame. Mate, do I play Euro Truck? Not me personally. No, the Dental one was 5700 XT reference. Right. Power supply installed. So, put that back. Now, do some lost cable man. Overlap here. Seven was the silver pop with the red scare only. Right. They're really expensive, aren't they? Because they're rare to get. We do need more interesting. Right, running the CPU cable through the top. I'll put it to the right hand side. Going to try and mass wish me luck. You'll be fine. Make sure you just do the one that everyone else does. We had one at work last month. Couldn't even get Windows 11 to work. That sucks. Even with Rufus, right? You know what? Okay. Not allowed Rufus. I guess it's kind of. I bet it would work with. And probably get drivers. Get the name exchanges to Emes. Doing drivers for through and up. Ventoy is better since you can have multiple ISO files on the same drive and boot many of them at a time. The Ventoy give the options to kind of bypass all the Windows stuff. I do like Ventoy. I need to make some. I'm going to ask you to stop doing that. Don't mind. Speaking to Mike. Sorry. I forgot I'm not wearing a mic. Hopefully my mic charges in time. I can switch it back so I can do wireless stuff. Okay, let's bunch these cables together with a zip tie. Fuck. So. What? Yeah. I don't have any mods on YouTube. YouTube weirdo still. Huh? Yeah. Told him to back. Final warning. Always YouTube, man. Apparently Kick is much. Yeah, sorry about the length of time. Bear with me as I'm trying to talk to the chat at the same time. Exactly. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Hey, cable man. I want to see some cable management. Exciting times ahead. Don't stress yourself too much about it. I still said I'm on for 10 o'clock. I said if I'm done at 10, I'm happy with that. Sorry, I'm just turning the screw to make sure it's in enough. Notice it bulging out a bit. If it becomes a problem. I believe I'm doing well time-wise. Thank you. Start streaming on Kick. The funny thing is, I was thinking about doing. Kick is a bit of a mess though. I don't, and multi-streaming is also kind of complicated with Kick. I live in Canada. Nice one. Cool. I'm going to switch views so you can see me work on. Go. Up, down. So as you can see, in the basement, you kind of hide all the cables here. I would say keep this 1 3 for the fan controller, and I need to leave that cable spare as well. In fact, let's put this in. So I'm going to use the magnet. Normally, I would put it, and I think I pointed this out in the last Ustream. Normally, I would put it up here somewhere. You can't close the case with that, but you can with. Yeah, probably for the best. You can use the magnet on the power supply, and it gives you enough room, and you kind of have to push down on the case and scrunch a little bit. Oh yeah, I've got to run the cables to the motherboard. What's wrong with you? Gonna take out this. No, maybe I'll leave that in. Someone wants to take it down the line. I'm gonna take it out just to create less cable mess. I'll leave it in just in case they want to use that cable down the line. There's a lot of trolling going on YouTube. So, gonna need to run this fan cable up to the top. I don't think there's many free fan headers. So, fan headers top this. I'm not very sure. Score. Not recently. I know there's like been a few sales on. Oh, I bought from. Well, X99. Tell you what, I will show you the cable getting installed. I will have a look and actually tell you. I'll tell you what I did buy. You can probably see one of them's run out of battery, but lights. These little rechargeable lights I bought this little globe that's battery. Cable management looks hard. How do you know which cable goes each where? Just loads of experience, I would say. I basically look at where the cables have got to go beforehand, run it to that location before I even start putting it in place, which makes my life easier going forward. So, for example, you can see I've got the power supply cable, the GPU cable ready to go once I actually install the GPU. Here's the criteria to get mod. One must have done over 20 builds done in the past 3 months. So you both definitely qualify, H and BeamC. I think I've got a 5700X and a B450 32GB RAM for 120. That's cheap. That's really cheap. Must have PhDs in computer science. I hate the cable man, but not really a lot I can do. I kind of just, with these, you just kind of bunch them up. I think is normally the best way of dealing with it. Go from right to left, shall we? Everyone's up, I'm waiting for the Willy. In fairness, I did say I would do a Willy reveal. 1069 subs, I said I'd do a Willy. The clip of that. Must get at least. I would probably struggle with that. I can't mod my own channel. So from right to left. Fan hub. That's the word I was looking for. Well, now we'll do that with the RGB connections as well. Cable spare. All the RGB connections lined up. Doing a Discord more that I'm overqualified. GPU is coming soon. Did the ARGB hub come with a case? Yes. It's a tough gaming one. I'll show you in just one moment. I want to finish sorting out this absolute mess. I think here we're just going to kind of, well, going to be an overlap there. If I do that so I can run the CPU cables down that way, probably the best I can do. Little wires. $115 on the VRAM. I think I'll take. But VRAM only really rears its head as an issue when it comes to Intel. Or maybe an AIM5 sometime. But I've seen crappy B450 powerful, about 3D chip series without massive problems. It's a slight degradation in before. It's actually working quite well. I could have done this before. It creates like a straight line kind of. Bro, I genuinely need your advice and help. No worries, what's up? How can I help? Grab. Okay. The cable management's not a problem really, it's just time. Maybe I should clip that up there or something. I finally figured out the cable management. Let's punch up these together. Up the top, shall we? See, it's pretty neat, all things considered. I'll do fucking cables in here. Yeah, and I'll grab cable tie and make sure that's just like got my custom PC today, Ryzen 5 7600 with a RTX 5060, and as I brought it home, the CPU was overheating crazy, like going idle. 76 and 82 Celsius and 97 to 99 while playing Valorant. Yeah, what cooler do you have? I mean, the 7000 series does run typically a little bit hot. It sounds like there might be a slight issue you've got going on there. That's actually a good point by Dream Seeker. What cooler have you got? It sounds like either, yeah, they could have not taken the sticker off, or potentially there's a mounting problem with the CPU not attached to your motherboard correctly, or something along those lines, potentially. Mass worked perfectly. You are welcome. I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. Saves you buying shady grey market CD keys. So, pop in the reset switch. This is going to control the LED lighting, as I'll show that installed. Got to get a longer cable. Put the cable you see using the basement just to hide all the cables at the moment. To get some more custom. We're actually run out. I'm having. Pretty loud. Don't exactly remember the company name, but I've got a tower cooler ones that are made for really higher end CPU. Got custom made in front of my eyes, right? Yeah, it sounds like they've got some kind of mounting issue, or they've got the sticker. I would take it back there if you can. It was, especially when it comes to warranty and stuff like that, it's just not worth trying to solve it yourself. Because that's what you paid them for, their expertise in the field, so they should fix it for you. Yeah, sorry, I need to turn down that follow alert. Jesus, that was loud. You blew off my eardrums. So just running cable ties along here, just to make it look a lot neater. Here's that person. I'd once had a deal with Microsoft. I bought 2,000 Vista keys in bulk. Had over 100 left after 14 years. The thing is with Vista, you could upgrade to, you could do like the long upgrade path as well, couldn't you? You could do like 7, 8, 10, 11 or something ridiculous. Was it up to 10? Man, this is a really shitty situation. I saved every penny. Go back then, friend. Yeah, that does suck. It's unfortunate. It's just the nature of PC building worlds, I guess. You do run into these hiccups. Just make sure you go back there and get the warranty stuff sorted. It is a pain, but you would rather someone that's paid to do the build do it properly. Especially when you've got warranty. Yeah, for a stock cooler, I can kind of accept it. Even then, I've had really bad like HP OEM CPU. Yeah, 80 is not good on idle. For sure. There's a mounting problem. Maybe they've over tightened one of the screws or something like that. That's possible. Or it's just mount's not attached. Yeah, sorry. Take that back. Take that back ASAP. You're not gonna face probably any massive problems. Like your PC will shut itself down usually. Well, the cables would be a lot worse. Yes, see, it's not that bad. As long as you've got a bit of room to work with. Saying that, I don't really have much room to work with. But it can kind of make it. We're so close to having this build done. Thing is Dream Seek. I would say... Depends on where you're based. It shouldn't, but it can do. I think it's not worth the headache of him trying to sort it out himself for a company to do it. They should right the wrong at the end of the day. They have to do it. Especially if he's not confident. At some point it's worthwhile learning, I would say, but yeah, if you've paid all that money, get them to. I would certainly, as a PC builder, want to fix it well. If it's not brand comfortable, happy with the customer. Maybe I'll do one more cable tie down here just to punch up those. Get this cable method. Maybe I'll run it. The PC underwater will pull down. I mean, man's not wrong. I don't want to open it. It's like they've put the wrong direction. Ooh, that sounds great. Get them to fix it. Move to Antarctica. Yeah, you could leave it outside in Antarctica and it'd probably run pretty cool. Ice cooling. It almost killed a 7050 Ti with a botch. How did he even do that wrong? Inexperience will make a mockery of the thoughtless. Oh, it's a tiny little thing. How old am I? I'm 33, going on 34 next week. My birthday next Thursday. Birthday stream? So, what do you think for that cable management? Getting old as well. I feel old. Reaching immortal when fucking Ice Bear chews on me. Ice Bear, that's a great name for a problem. Ice Bear. So, was everyone thinking chopping cable ties with scissors giving the ick? Sorry. The thing is, I don't have any cable clip. I know. Probably don't want me. Sorry about that. I need to buy more wireless mics. I just need to charge them. I've got two. I literally switched one out. But I just need to. I need to set a reminder to charge them way before. How do we feel on the cable management? Look all right. Not very exciting or glamorous. It's not like Instagram work. For a budget build, yeah, I think so. Do you think a BIOS update is needed for an i5 3400F? Oh, so you'll be okay with the i5? I think it typically affects i7 and i9s. Always update your BIOS anyway. There's no harm in it. Thanks for helping a brother out. No worries, man. Yeah, it sucks. It's just it's unfortunate, but if you've got warranty and that, it's worth just going back, especially if you pay good money for it. So the only problem is with this cable management is it's now making pace protrude a little bit. See, I'm gonna have to do the classic push down and hope for the best. This is always a problem with budget cases. It's kind of gross. I hate it. How old am I? Sorry, I probably wasn't close enough to my mic. I'm 33, going on 34. 34 next Thursday. Birthday stream. Yeah, I'm glad we can help. To be fair, I don't know, the mic was playing up or whatever. I keep forgetting I've got a mic in front of my face. I'll give him the benefit of it. Boys. No need for beefing. You got randomly suggested, and I was like, yeah, he's also building. That was good timing. Well, at least I could do my little bit to help, eh? Let's go front cam only. Actually, should we go top down just to install the GPU? Yes. I'll show you the GPU first, shall I? It was I had someone with a Dryad Fury X, if I remember correctly. It was oh god. Yeah, I remember that one, the AIO GPU. He refilled it. I've never refilled a I never say the word. AIO. I hope the specs I chose are good. What's your opinion on that? What was it again? Sorry, did say I've lost it in the chat. Was it 9700X or something? 9600X? Wasted away. I've already got it up, so. Screwdriver running at flying at me. I'm head out. GG, bro. Sorry I can't mod for much longer. Got a flight to catch in the morning. Well, have a good holiday. Thank you for coming down anyway. I'm not going to be here much longer anyway. Thank you for dropping in. I hope you have a good time abroad. Ryzen 5 7600X and RTX 5060. It's fine. The thing is, I'm probably going to have to sell the RTX 50 because it's the most popular GPU. But I don't love the lack of VRAM with the RTX 5060. But if you're playing like esports and stuff like that, you're not going to run into VRAM issues. I just typically prefer more VRAM nowadays, I would say, but your build's fine. At least the nice thing is the 7600X is quite flexible to upgrade it. So you've got legroom to stretch that CPU a bit further at some point as well. So yes, GPU of choice today. It's actually the same GPU I used last week, but this time it's with the box. Tough Gaming GTX 1660 Super. In decent condition, actually. They've done a good job cleaning it, but I have noticed they have never opened it up to do the thermal paste, so I'll probably have to do that. But nice looking GPU, kind of a weird orange undertone that doesn't really suit the rest of the build, but I'm not a problem. Meanwhile, I'm still on i7 3rd gen. Still love that CPU. I still have my heart still I still love like the i7 37 and i7 4790s, some of my favourite CPUs ever. Still completely capable to this day. They were just built really well. I know I got a very good discount at my place, and I got $250, so it was still fair enough. And then you play esports, so yeah, no, absolutely fine. Yeah, I think you would struggle if you're going to play like 1440p type AAA titles, but 5060 is actually more. It's a good GPU. It's just the VRAM, an annoying thing that Nvidia do. But I just realised I don't that cable management. I haven't put the cables back. That really. I can't believe that. I'm going to show you. I'm now going to have to do something. See that. No, we've got a pantry fill. What was I saying? Horrible. Have that. That is so stupid. Well, at least it's. I've let all this cable. CPU was alright, wasn't it? Oh, I haven't even plugged it. At least it emailed. Which wall frame looks. Thank you. I think it looks good. I don't ever play story modes, and I don't know my graphics. So yeah, for esports titles, you're going to be absolutely fine. And like I said, if you suddenly realised it was a problem, your CPU going to handle probably up to like 50, 70 without massive issue. I do have a YouTube one. Do you want me to cycle through them? The annoying thing, I don't know of a way to rotate them. The YouTube one. haven't plugged in the CPU power, so I would have been confused as to why it doesn't turn on. Nvidia should stop selling graphics cards with 8GB of VRAM in 2025, especially if the cards cost over $400. I agree. Unfortunately, they don't care either. All their money's just tied up in. They make a shit ton of it. Doesn't even have to think about it. Yeah, but there is an 8GB. What, 50? I think if the 5060 was, that would be an absolute. Okay, now I've got to do. Table man. Hello, Wesley. I'd like to replace my RX. One of my favorites. Now, problem I've got, this fan is blocking me. Undo that. It meant much lower T. Maybe one of the art cards. For the price of an 3060, I don't mind the latest gen card with 8GB. Remember, that's fair. If it does everything you need to do, and you're the winner. I've got a Dell 3090 with 24 gigs of VRAM. Interesting. Was it like a Dell pre-built? Or did you get it like second hand or something? Yeah, B380. Yeah. I keep expecting it. I'm a bit quiet. I was wondering if they're going to do like a B. We might not see Celestial. Oh yeah. Until I'm not having a good. The funny thing is, the art cards sell gangbusters in China. They're regularly running out. They're a popular hit places, just not worldwide at the moment is the problem. Not been adopted as I wanted to get the X3D, but it'd be overkill. Yeah, the 7600 actually good CPU to have, and you've got before you even need to upgrade the CPU. It was from a rebuild. I don't even think I've seen a Dell. I didn't even know Dell did it though. So, okay. Oh. Down from. Happens in my old age. Maybe what I'll do is actually I'll peel this cable back a bit, and then we can base. PC exams. He is joking. He's putting you through the ringer. There is no real criteria. I'll think about it. $30.90. Yeah, I'm sure that's really capable. I kind of don't hear about the 39. Come out as a weird time in 30 series. So I'm still aiming for. I nearly had it, and then I realised I hadn't finished cable managing properly. because I'm dumb. Is the 5950X still a good CPU? Yeah. It's good for... I wouldn't necessarily buy it for gaming. Unless you get like a really cheap deal. It's good for productivity stuff. Like a... Or... Sounds weird to say, but no, now budget. Or budget friendly. Budget. Though they still hold up a lot in value, if I'm not mistaken. W fan placed it, leave it so air will go sideways. Wait, no, don't screw. Sorry. I have to undo something. Third time. Urgent call, no worries. Right. Unscrew, shall we? Wife is telling me to go to sleep. No worries. I get it. You shouldn't prioritise watching me mess up a PC over yours. That's any rule in life. You got, I can tell you what, 10 minutes. You 10 minutes. Try and get this together, yeah? But I'm under pressure now. We are so close, it's just because I messed up. Don't follow my lead. That's what I meant to do. Need to see if I've got some spare cable ties now. We'll do that. Yeah. We do one? Is one enough? Or do I need two? 10:46 in Germany. Leave wife. Stand it. Time zones are wild. Yeah, they certainly are. It's 9:45 here for me. Am I flipping it? So, yes, in a roundabout way. I guess technically it is a flip. It's going up on my website as a rebuild. So it'll be one that people can build or buy for themselves. So this should go to a customer at some point. It's more like a proof of concept to myself, if that makes sense. Wanted to try and find like the perfect entry level title, upgrade room, etc, etc. Hopefully that makes sense. Does that look better? What happens if a build doesn't sell? Question. If it doesn't sell, then I cry. I want it to sell. You do it, lady. I'll do this dramatic turn once we build the GPU. I think that looks really good. Gonna run. What are we thinking? Go again. Install the GPU, shall we? Faster, faster. We're so close. No point rushing it now. Perfect rhythm. Do you lower prices? On occasion I have. If something's really not moving, I lower prices. This one will be. I'm hoping it's going to become a regular, and then I can even discount it at certain periods. Black Friday. That's the plan. Sometimes if it really doesn't sell, I'll just dismantle it and I'll rebuild something with it. Or yeah, if it doesn't ship half the time, I'll. Hoping it's not going to do. So with this one, I need to pop out this bracket, which is cumbersome. Go. So what I'm going to need to do is pop out the top two sockets on the case. Usually with cheaper cases, you have to, unfortunately, you have to kind of, I don't want to say tear them out, but push them out. Not replaceable, unfortunately. Sorry, yeah. I've done a few ads. I kind of try and push most of my stuff through YouTube, etc., and TikTok and Instagram. Kind of just rely on like word of mouth at the moment. So, 1660 Super coming from over the top. That sounded gross. Sorry. You said. One 1663 installed. Do some cable tying here as well. Line up your 8-pin there. Do I have any? I had to make some back-to-school PC builds. Only a third were rebuilt OEM PCs. RX 5500. Nice. Do you do work for like, I guess, schools and stuff like that? Local businesses? Or is that just like someone wanted it before they go back to school? It was kind of twisted up, sorry, I just want to turn it back. Okay, we'll do. Sorry, probably bashed into the microphone. How much force did the GPU? Not much really. I want to get it to click into the slot. It feels a bit rough the first time you do it, but you get used to it. Hoping that unfortunately there's not enough cable slack for it to go all the way back there. Aim should be screwing right now for me using scissors, but I don't care. I'm cool. 950X is a banger. What are you still talking about? What do you mean? I do have Velcro. Oh, actually, I run out. I need to get some more. I don't think I said it wasn't a banger. It's just for gaming, I typically recommend the 3D models. It was ages ago I said that, though. Unless I missed something. It's still a banger. Especially if you can get it cheap. But typically, I think they run a bit expensive gaming CPU, I would say. One more. So yeah, sorry. In regards to the Velcro, I actually had custom Velcro to get more of. So that's why I'm just. Velcros. Don't have to try and chop it up with scissors. Cool. So, sorry, move the mic out of the way. What would I say to my younger self to do when building PCs, or just in general? So, because of how I tidied those cables, they're pushing the case up a little bit, so I'm going to put a little bit of downward pressure. It's the unfortunate side of budget cases. I haven't installed the GPU yet, I mustn't forget that. Well, I haven't done the screws. What would I say for PC in general? You don't know everything yet. Keep doing research. What I didn't know back then, compared to what I know now, is vast. And even then, I'm still learning. To my younger self, gonna get tested for ADHD quicker. Don't flap about, get that diagnosis, and it would set you up for life much better. Cool. Now I'll install the G. Interestingly, they don't give you enough. Don't give you enough of these kind of screws. See that? They give you one. Not like enough. In fact, I'm going to need one more. That bracket back in place as well. I'd say don't build PCs. I'm a hipster that lives in the forest and can get into pottery. It'd be less stressful. I'd actually say to myself to get into PCs much sooner because I realised I had a passion for it and I didn't know what my passion was. I think I built my first PC in what, 2015? First gaming, I say gaming computer, it's like a mini ITX. If I'd have known sooner, I would have got into it. So, bring in the GPU, that doesn't feel like it's going in properly. A little bit more pressure on. Doesn't feel like it's going in properly. I realise that computers need pressure, which makes me worried with my PC, but I have to do it. I keep saying pressure. Yeah, you don't need. They need like. It's probably sometimes more than you think. In terms of when you're putting your RAM in, it's probably going to feel kind of horrible the first time you do it. But then you get to realise it's not that bad. It's just like clicking in Lego. Must go, that's fine. I've got 3 minutes. I've got 3 minutes. Can you give me 3 minutes? Just gonna see if it turns on. Thank you. We are in the home stretch now. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna power it on and then I'll call it a day because I aim for 10. I'm gonna call it 10. I said 10 o'clock as well. Surprised because I thought it was much later. Oh crap. Oh, that's annoying. It's not in properly. I don't know if I'm going to be on. I'm going to kind of... The bracket wasn't in properly and it was going to bug the hell out of me. Not the best. It's not the nicest thing to Do you see kind of like lips that you line up with the case as you push it back in? See? Doesn't want to go back in now. Could have just left it. Not going to meet my quota. Oh, come on. God damn it. So close. This bracket isn't the most easy thing to work with. Can't even get it to go back into place now. There we go. That's better. I can work with it. Thank you. I can't work with it. Fine. What if I just... Oh, God. That's so close. And I started mucking around with the bracket. It's just me all over. There we go. Thank you for the follow. Maybe jump. I got the sound up too high. Am I doing this right? That's the question. I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. It doesn't even look right, you know. I think that. You know what? That'll do for now. Hi, so I have a quick question. Sorry, yes, thank you for the follow. Chihab? Forgive me if I mispronounced your name. Fire away. You know the problem is these screws are in the way. It's a 10 now, like 5-10 minutes after the 10. So, because the screws are in the way, see, it goes in fine now. Silly me. After all that battle. Should I say? Using my T's. There you go. There you go. Are you ready? We're closing in. Bracket installed. EPU installed. Are you ready for power test? This doesn't turn on. Might break down in tears, but I'll check it. I'll check what's going wrong. Are you ready? Drum roll. I need like a drum roll. Are you ready? Yeah, probably. So I'm buying a PC for the first time in a limited country. The 4060 a good start of like this whole build would be like I couldn't really find a better option. It's more affordable on it. Yeah. If you're limited, 4060 is fine. For esports and for most 1080p games, it will do the job. What kind of other options have you got? Are you ready? I mean, if you've got no other options, the 4060 is absolutely fine. The light's turned off because the PC, I'm pretty sure. Are you ready? We do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've forgotten something. I haven't plugged in the fan controller. Good night, Dream Seeker. Thank you for coming. I know you gotta go. It'll work. Trust me. Most people say 3060 is better because of VRAM. I think the 4060 tends to outperform it still. So I don't. There are very few scenarios where the 3060 will have VRAM doing a better job with that. You can plug in the. Thank you. Yeah. Is the 3060 available for you? You have some titles where the 3060 will be a benefit. The 4060 typically outperforms the 3060 quite comfortably in most scenarios. Right. We are done. I plugged in the fan controller, so the LEDs will light up this time. Sorry about that. Just gonna pop that down just so that panel back on again. Got that one more time. No explosions, there's a winner. Sorry. I aim to please and disappoint simultaneously. You ready? Should we do another? Should we do a 10-second countdown? Build up anticipation. Have a clue. Can we get a 10-second count? Okay. Go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll ever put the power button on. That's such an anticlimax. 3, 2, 1. Hello. Hello, PC. You can actually probably hear it on the microphone. Actually, you can't. It's got a noise gate on. Aren't we lucky? We are on. We are on. Changing LED colours on the fly. I haven't got much cable to do a proper turn, but shall we do it? Let's get the microphone out of the way so I can just turn it. So, RX 5500. GTX 60 PC, but only just went. So, bravo. I'm not going to do a post test tonight. I'm going to double check it tomorrow. Everything I tested worked before. I have no doubt it will work again. I just need to install Windows and all that other shenanigans tomorrow. This is what I'm calling the Luz. L-U-Z. Gonna be my entry level. Quite a nice looking, but Now, I'm going to try and do content. I promise. I promise I will try. Thank you everyone for being here. It's been a really nice stream. Next week is my birthday. So maybe we'll do a birthday stream. I don't know if I'll do anything eventful. Maybe I'll put a birthday hat on. Exciting. I don't know. I'll think of something. Think of something a bit interesting. You have to come to my birthday. Exactly. You have no excuse. I mean, if you do have it, it's perfectly fine. Damn, I noticed my subscribers went up to 267. Thank you for everyone for the subscriptions on YouTube. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, the RTX 4060, I think you're going to be absolutely fine. If you're limited in options, I would, of course, if you've got AMD available, if you could do something like 6700 XT, but I am assuming you don't have access to something at fair price. That's my thought. Should we find someone to raid? I should move my PC out of my face so we can see.
I do need to play your song, you're right.
I accidentally hit the mute button. Sorry. One day I won't mess up my microphone. Sorry. I could get a 6700 XT technically, but I don't really plan on using this PC part for purely gaming and pure performance. The 6700 you don't really plan on using purely for gaming and pure performance, right? You want something that does a mix of creativity work, etc. as well. Well, that's fair enough. RTX 4060 sounds nice. It was nice chatting with you. Thank you for coming. Nice PC. Thank you. Do you think I should upgrade from a 3060 Ti to a 5060 Ti 16 gigs? I stream and record videos. Currently, I have a Ryzen 5 5700X3D. Hope it won't bottleneck. No, that sounds like a nice pairing. If you stream and record videos, NVIDIA is probably the way to go, and because of the VRAM limitations, might not be a bad shout to upgrade. Depends really what you play, as I always say. If you've got VRAM limited games, definitely do the upgrade, I would say. Spinning PC, spinning fans, exactly. I will set this to a remote-only chat if this continues. I'm going, I promise. I'm just going to find someone to raid. Be nice to this person. YouTubers, you can join in on the raid as well if you follow this person. Or go to this person's chat. Should we just try and find someone? Is there anyone that anyone recommends? I can't see anyone. I was trying to find like a PC builder or something like that. Good night. Thank you for coming. I play CS2 mostly, sometimes AAA games. Well, CS2's more CPU bound. But if you do play modern AAA titles, I would say maybe worth the upgrade. How do you feel? Are you noticing a performance problem in any of your games? Also, AIO recommendation. The new ROG Ryo 4 is sick but overpriced. I always have a hard time saying this is a mouthful. AIOs are always kind of overpriced because there's not much of a benefit gain over a tower caller, I would say. I think the best on the market personally is the Arctic. I forget the name of it, but their top of the range AIO is probably the best I've seen and used. I currently want to upgrade because I actually broke one of my fan blades on the 3060 Ti and I'm unable to fix. Okay, it does sound like you are limited in options then. Fan fixes are normally quite easy if you fancied having a go. I mean, it sounds like you've got nothing to lose if you did try and do it, but 5060 could be quite a nice option. We could find someone streaming music. Should we do that? I'm gonna find someone streaming music. Or should we do it like a small creator? I'm trying to find something that's like related to PC stuff, but D-Shroud, okay. Oh yeah, D-Shroud your GPU, yeah, I guess. Said I was gonna go and I didn't go. Don't glue a fan on. I'm just gonna raid on that account. Thank you everyone for being here. It's been an awesome stream. I hope to see you next week. I will try and do something other than a budget build next week. We'll do something a bit more fun, shall we? More fun, shall we? Oh, sorry, you heard my stream back. Let's do raid. Hopefully this works. Good night, good morning, good evening. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you guys same time next week, eh? See you soon.